Blaylock, the sheriff's entry, and then Heath Maherd with the town of Garden City is going to speak, and then we'll open up for a few questions after that.
Ready? Okay. All right. Good morning, everybody. Appreciate you being here. I'm Wilson Blaylock, the district attorney in Cullman, and today we have a press conference news release on the arrests that were made as a result of an audit from Garden City, the town of Garden City in Cullman County. In August, it came to the attention of the town that there were monies that were misplaced. They immediately notified the sheriff, they notified the district attorney, and there was intensive investigation led by Chris McKay with the Alabama Ethics Commission and Dustin Bentley with the sheriff's office, and we appreciate very much their work in this because when you're dealing with numbers and embezzlement and fraud and theft, it's a difficult situation. But Agent McKay has got extensive practice in forensic auditing, and the both of them did a great job. But it took approximately 3 months to go through all the numbers, and at the end they determined that some in excess of 200,000, more like 207,000, was stolen from the town of Garden City, either through fraudulent checks, forged checks, misuse of credit cards, all the way to fraudulent timesheets of getting paid, and I believe even giving themselves raises on periodically. So there were warrants that were issued for Shannon James, who was the clerk, and her sister Leslie Johnson, who was the clerk for the town of Garden City. They have since turned themselves in. There's a $120,000 cash bond on Miss James, and I believe a $90,000 cash bond on Leslie Johnson. I will say that there's 2 additional warrants that have been issued in this case. One, I understand, just turned themselves in minutes ago, and that is Jeremy James, who happens to be Shannon James' husband. And there's one more warrant outstanding. The other warrant is not a town of Garden City employee. I want to stress that. But there's one more arrest to be made. It still is an ongoing investigation, but I feel like that it's been arduous task, but both the Ethics Commission and the Sheriff's Office have done a great job, and we very much appreciate that. On the charges specifically, Shannon James, there are 2 ethics crimes, which is the use of office for personal gain to a tune of some $187,000, and the use of public property for personal benefit, and that was the bogus hours that they said that she said that she for a total of approximately $6,900. The property crimes for Miss James was aggravated theft by deception, whereby there were forged checks that were deposited in joint checking account between she and her husband. So that's in excess of $100,000, which makes it aggravated theft. Now, aggravated theft, without getting too deep, is not a worksheet offense. And if you're familiar with Alabama, the district attorney, the judges have to prepare worksheets. And if there's so many points on their worksheet, they're either guaranteed probation or stand to possibly go to jail. Well, aggravated theft is not a worksheet offense, so we'll be asking for jail time just because of the amount of money that was stolen. Also, we've got the sister, who's Leslie Johnson. As I said, you know, she's an employee with the town also. She's charged with the ethics crimes of using the office for personal gain, amount of approximately $5,900, and the use of public property for a personal benefit. Again, submitting bogus hours that were worked that were not, that the town was out some $3,800 for that. The property crimes, again, was the aggravated theft in excess of $100,000. And like I said, it's approximately $207,000 is a figure that the investigators have come up with so far. And we've got the possession of a forged instrument, that she possessed checks from the town of Garden City, that the mayor's name had been signed on those checks. So, and Jeremy James, the same thing, aggravated theft in excess of $100,000 as he participated with the joint checking account and received the benefit of those funds. So I wanted to thank again the Ethics Commission agent, Chris McKay, and Sheriff's Office and all that they did, Dustin Bentley, and I wanted the sheriff to say a few words now.
Thank you, DA.
Yes.
We appreciate everybody being here this morning. Just to reiterate what the district attorney said, I want to thank Investigator Bentley, Special Agent Chris McKay with the Ethics Commission for their due diligent work. We were contacted on a Saturday that there was a possible theft, internal theft, and immediately our investigators started working with the town. And we've always had questions like, well, how does the Ethics Commission get involved? Well, the great thing about our system is they are a third-party entity that brings transparency to these types of cases. And Special Agent McKay's a great investigator, worked hand in hand with Investigator Bentley, the District Attorney's Office, to bring a quick resolution to this theft, which it ended in the result of warrants being attained. So I want to thank all the parties involved in their due diligence and the hard work. It is still an ongoing investigation, so we will be very limited to what we can talk about and release. So again, I just want to thank everybody for their hard work. Thank y'all.
Heath, you want to say something?
Yes, sir. Heath Maherg with Griffith, Lowry, and Maherg. We were recently retained by the town of Garden City, and on behalf of Mayor Eskew and the town of Garden City, we wanted to come here and thank, first of all, Sheriff Matt Gentry in his office, and obviously Investigator Bentley, and Special Agent Chris McKay and the Alabama Ethics Commission, and Wilson Blaylock and District Attorney Wilson Blaylock in his office. They've all worked very diligent on this case, and they've really pushed hard to get us where we're at. We look forward to hopefully getting some restitution in this matter and moving forward and getting this closed out for the town. So we appreciate their help and look forward to working with them.
Any questions?
The bond on Mr. James, is it a cash bond also? And if so, do you know?
I do not know that yet. Sheriff?
Yes, sir. So, as you know, we have a lawsuit that resulted many years ago. We're still dealing with that. So the way the process works on a probable cause warrant, the individual will be arrested. They'll be brought to the detention center. If there is a bail request form completed on the person, which most arrests will have one, then it's up to a judge to set the bond, whether it's an ROR, whether it's a property bond or a cash bond. So that is determined by the judge that's giving the hearing that day.
Do you know approximately how long this has been going on? And was it something just a few months,
Not to get into the weeds or the specifics, I mean, it was a little while. You know, it had prolonged for a little while. Throughout the investigation, you know, we were determined months that it started.
And this may be more for Maher. Do you, is the employees there, the town employees still on administrative leave, or has there been some able to come back? Is anybody planning to resign?
So the town, they have a handbook, obviously, that's in place, and some steps were put into place by the town years ago. The handbook was followed. Those employees were terminated. They obviously had a hearing at some point, and they were terminated, and they're no longer with the town.
That it? Thank y'all very much. Appreciate you coming.